It's time for me to deliver my thoughts on my most anticipated movie of the summer, Asteroid City. And what did I think of it? Well, I loved it. Of course I loved it. I have a YouTube channel where I make videos about Wes Anderson, so it's not a surprise. I'll be pretty vague with my thoughts in this video about plot details and characters, so if you haven't seen the movie, feel free to stick around. First off, Jason Schwartzman and Scarlett Johansson are tremendous as the leads in the film. They've got a pretty sad, depressive chemistry together, and while that doesn't sound enjoyable, it does contrast nicely with the light color palette of the movie, and it results in a wonderfully balanced story. Schwartzman's been working with Anderson for decades now, and I don't think it's hyperbole to say that his best stuff is in this movie. In Anderson's filmography, he's played many characters across multiple films, but there's one scene in this movie where he really is allowed to stretch with a long monologue, and it's the best acting I've seen him do, personally. It's Johansson's first live-action film with Anderson, and she's also tremendous in it. There's a structure to the movie which I won't dig into here for spoilery reasons, but let's just say it allows the actors to stretch in a way that they haven't in Wes Anderson movies before. It's a big ask of them, but Schwartzman and Johansson really nail what's written for them. Johansson and Tom Hanks really add some star power to the movie, and speaking of, Tom Hanks also great. I know this is just turning into me saying that the entire cast is great uniformly, but they are. Hanks is playing against type as a crotchety grandpa figure, which is not too far off from his recent movie A Man Called Otto, but it's certainly not the charming father figure we usually know him as. In this movie, he's grumpy, lecherous, and stubborn, but the character definitely still has a warm, gooey center. For the rest of the cast, I won't go into too much detail because part of the joy of a Wes Anderson movie is pointing at the screen and going, hey, I know that guy. There he is. But I will single out Jeffrey Wright, Edward Norton, and Maya Hawke as being exceptionally good in the movie. In a week or so, I'll make another video that's more detailed with plenty of spoilers where I'll go down the cast list one by one. But for now, I'll just shout those three out. They were very, very good. By far the thing I most enjoyed in the movie is the set of Asteroid City itself. It's a real location constructed by the film crew in the middle of a Spanish desert. It's gigantic. There's the thrilling combination of miniatures, practical sets, and colorful props. The thing that most bums me out about modern filmmaking is when there are bland CGI set extensions or when actors aren't even in the same room when they're filming something. You definitely lose a lot when you have to use shortcuts. Not so here, as you can see in this BTS footage. The rocks in the distance are actually there, either hauled in by trucks or supported by scaffolding, which the crew hides all their stuff behind. It's a pretty ingenious way to be able to shoot in any direction without seeing crew trucks or craft services tables. And not to say that there's no digital effects or green screen in the movie. It's just that Wes Anderson uses green screen in a much different way than other filmmakers. It's also in the Asteroid City location that Wes Anderson gets his most creative directorially. He has wonderful tracking shots that show all parts of the town, including the mechanic shop, the diner, the freeway entrance that leads to nowhere. You know, everything you'd expect from a small 1950s desert town. Overall, though, I enjoyed it immensely. If I had to rank it against Wes Anderson's other movies in his filmography right now, and granted I am really high on it right now because I just watched it for the first time, but I would probably put it at number 2 behind the Grand Budapest Hotel. And granted, I love Grand Budapest Hotel. It's my favorite movie of the past decade. In all movies, not just Wes Anderson. So nothing's really going to knock it off that number 1 pedestal for me. And this isn't to say if you love Rushmore and you love Royal Tenenbaums, it's not to say you're wrong. I just like the mode he's currently in right now, where he's making period pieces about times that never existed. He's not really using contemporary music. The characters are a little less relatable, more cartoonish and distant, but I love it. I really love it. Asteroid City, number 2 on the list right now for me. It's close, but not quite there. And you know what? My opinion might change. I'll see it a couple more times in the near future, so I'll keep you up to date. It's a visually rich movie with a lot of jokes crammed into it, and I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of them the first time I watched it. So meet me back here in about a week or so, and I'll have a way more spoilery breakdown of the movie, and we'll really dive into it. In the meantime, If you'd like more videos about Wes Anderson, I've got you covered. Check out some links in the description of this video, and go to the playlist tab in the channel if you want more videos on Wes Anderson or Alfred Hitchcock. I talk about him too if you want to diversify your video watching interests. Until next time, always remember, the Ferris wheel spins on.